Hey, it's Dave Miller. It's the first day back in the office, if that's what you call this, for 2026. And I am finishing out the day here. I just recorded a conversation with Alex Klein. Alex just finished a 2 year residency in Orville, Ohio, central Ohio, kind of south of Cleveland there. And I'm reminded of the Proverbs, is it 16 or 19? I can't remember, where a man's heart makes a plan, but God directs his steps. I think you're going to enjoy this conversation if you're a church leader thinking about launching a residency and you're trying to make your plans and should we do this or should we not do this? Or if you're a 19 to 25-year-old trying to think, should I say yes to what's been put in front of me? Alex's journey is interesting in that it was part-time school and then it was some military and some experiences in Iraq overseas, and then coming back and winding up in a residency and finally saying yes to the call that God had on his life about going into ministry. I think a lot of people assume that residents come right through undergrad into seminary and come out and do a 2 year residency, and it's crystal clear from the time they're 10 years old to the time they're 20. But who has that story? Very, very few of us have that story. And Alex proves, even when a residency doesn't go perfectly, that you still can be clear when you're at the end of it, of where God is taking you, where God is leading you. I think you're going to enjoy this conversation with Alex Klein.
Awesome.
Welcome to Leadership Pathway. My name is Dave Miller. I'm the co-founder of Leadership Pathway. It is my privilege to have this conversation today. The best thing that I get to be a part of here is connecting with young leaders and helping them find a place to take a step forward in ministry. And that's what we're going to be talking with Alex Klein today about. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Introduce yourself. Where are you? Who are you? What are you doing these
Yeah.
days?
Yeah. So I started out at Orville Christian Church 2 years ago last week as their adult ministry resident. So that just ended a couple weeks ago. And I think really the coolest part about Leadership Pathway, and it straight up, it was just an answer from God, you know. So before I joined ministry, I actually ran. I ran away from ministry. I felt the calling. I was like, nope, I'm going to try anything else.
Yeah.
And so I joined the army. And when I got the call for this position, I was actually in Iraq. It was my last day in Iraq. And I got this call and I was like, oh, yeah, that's my answer right there.
Okay, I love this because I meet amazing people like you, and then other people on our team take care of you, and I go on down the road talking to the next 300 people, and so I'm winding back now, remembering
Mhm.
that, yeah, you were active duty then.
So I was National Guard, but
National
when
Guard.
I got the call for this position, I was currently activated.
Okay.
So I got the call about the position at Orville my last day in Iraq, and I actually had an interview with, I believe it was Michelle Luzader,
Yeah, that's right.
when I got back and I was in Texas.
Wow. Okay, so take us back to high school. Who were
Yeah,
you in high school? Were you a band? I know you were a preacher's kid, as I recall. Your
yeah,
dad's a
preacher's kid.
preacher there in
Yeah,
Ohio. But who were you an athlete? Were you a band guy? Who were you in high
yeah.
school?
I was mostly an athlete. I played soccer. Most of my free time, I was either working or hanging out with friends.
What was your favorite job in high school?
Oh, I worked at a drive-in movie theater and a regular movie theater, and those are
Okay.
both phenomenal jobs.
Tell us about the craziest thing that ever happened at the
Uh,
drive-in theater that you can repeat
as I
on
say, I don't know if
a
there's many I can repeat, but I got threatened a lot.
oh,
Usually when people have bigger cars, they can't park up in the front rows when it's busy. So I
okay.
got threatened a lot when I told them to move, but here I am still standing by the grace of God.
Was it country boys with like high lifted four-wheel drives that wanted to park down there, or what was it?
No, it was usually just moms and SUVs.
Oh, funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't mess with those moms at the
Oh yeah.
drive-in going to see
You can't
Toy
mess with
Story
those moms.
7 or whatever. Okay, so through high school, so you graduated what year? What year would
Yeah.
that have been?
I graduated 2020.
2020 and straight to the military?
Yeah, so I actually enlisted at 17, right before my senior year started.
Okay.
And so right out of high school, I went to basic training,
Okay.
did all my training. I came home and my family was like, "Hey, by the way, we're moving to Columbus."
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, so we moved and I took a year and a half off of school
Okay.
and I finally started taking classes at Ohio State. And
Okay.
while I was there, that's when I got the call about Iraq. And I was like, "Oh, well, in my mind, I was like still wary about ministry. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Ohio State. I'll get a general degree. If it turns into ministry, like so be it. Like we'll find out what happens. We'll go from
Okay.
there." And God was like, "Yeah, no, that's not the plan that I have."
Yeah.
And went to Iraq. It threw me for a huge loop
Okay,
because I was
so
like,
as a non-military person, which I'm always
yeah,
fascinated by, I totally had forgotten the military part of your story. So
yeah.
when you say I got the call about Iraq, they called you on what day and you were packed and walking out of the house on how long is that? Is that
They called me, I want to say March,
okay?
and I didn't get into Iraq until Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But so my semester ended, May or so,
Okay.
and pretty much right after that, it was all training from there. So
Okay. Were
from
you freaking
July to
out?
August,
Were you excited to get that call or were you like, "Oh no, what have I done?" They've
yeah, it was a bit of both. I kind of compare it to like an athlete. I've been doing all the training, I've been going to all the practices, and so kind of getting activated. It's like game day. So I was really excited, but still very nervous and very confused because I was like, I really don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. Still trying to avoid going into ministry, and so I was like, you know what, maybe this would be good. And I mean, it turned out to be one of the best experiences.
Oh, why is that?
It was a good time with my buddies.
Okay.
You know, I it's funny. I love telling people this. So when we left, I left at 160 pounds. I was very small, very skinny, and pretty much for the majority of my time there, I ate and went to the gym and got up to 220, a pretty lean 220.
Wow.
And so yeah, I mean, it had its moments where it wasn't the best, but
Okay.
it was definitely one of the better experiences.
So you go to Iraq Thanksgiving of 21 then? Is that am I
22.
22. So you're
Yeah.
in Iraq Thanksgiving of 22.
Yep.
And what was the experience over there?
Yeah. So we were kind of right near the embassy. We were just kind of pulling base security. So
Okay.
most of my days involved searching cars and looking out of windows. And uh, so after, the first month or so, it was really cool. I was on one of Saddam Hussein's like palaces, just pulling security. So it was really cool seeing the view. I was right next to the Tigris. And then about a month in, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of getting tired of looking at the same thing every day.
That's fantastic. So the training of working at the drive-in theater came full circle. You're still searching
Yeah,
cars.
yeah,
Hey,
it
you
was.
can't
That's,
park
that's
there.
right.
I'm sorry, you can't park there.
Yeah.
Okay, how long were you over
Uh,
there?
yeah, so I was in country for about 9 months. And then in all, I was gone from home for about 15.
Okay. Good experiences, bad experiences. What was it?
Yeah, for the most part, it was good. We had our high stress moments, but most of what we dealt with were drones and kind of things like that. We got threatened almost every day, but nothing too severe. Um, but other than that, I watched a lot of movies, went to the gym a lot, and kind of had a almost normal life.
And told people they couldn't park there. Just
Yeah,
like
told people they couldn't park there. Yeah.
when you came back, did you have thoughts of maybe military is it. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to do.
I think I would have if I didn't get the call. So,
Oh,
about 3 or 4 months in, I started really worrying about, what am I going to do when I get home?
okay.
Um, once the government stops paying me, what am I going to do? Like,
Yeah.
what should I go to school for, or should I
Yeah.
just go into a trade? What's next?
I'm sure they were
And
trying to get you to sign up though, right? Isn't that part of
oh yeah,
for
yeah.
sure?
I got pestered until my very last day, and
Okay.
even now they're like, "Oh, we'll still take you back."
Oh,
So,
interesting.
but yeah, so that was one of my thoughts. I was like, I probably wouldn't mind doing the active duty
Yeah.
thing, just going military and making that my career.
Yeah.
And I mean, I pretty much I worried and worried every single day. And finally, that last day, we're getting ready to leave. My dad calls me. He says, "Hey, I got a call from one of my college buddies.
Huh.
There's this job for adult ministry at Orville Christian Church. This would be perfect for you. It's like a residency, like internship kind of
How about
deal.
that?
We like, I think this would be interesting." And so kind of from there, I was like, yeah, like that's God right there. Like that's what he's telling me to do.
Okay, so why? I love this conversation because I think people are like, so which seminary do all the residents? I'm like, no, man, you don't understand. It's all over the map. They're
Yep.
everything from 19-year-old college dropouts to 50-year-old second career people. So I love the
Yeah.
story of how you wind up where you
Yeah.
went. Why, if you can rewind back, why was that God calling you? Why was the recruiter from the military who was pestering
Mm.
you? You didn't think, well, there's the God's opened the door. I'm going to go through it. Why not that and why this?
Yeah. So I joined the army with my own free will. No recruiter reached out to me. I was like, you know what, you make a good point. I want to join. I pretty much joined out of fear. So my dad told me something that his grandfather told him when he went into ministry. So, if you want to go into ministry, make sure that this is the only thing that you want to do and can do.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of what set me on the spiral. And I was like, oh, I really don't know. So I took business management classes. I looked into a bunch of career fields. I was like, what, I'm going to join the army because they'll give me free school and maybe I'll figure it out by the time I'm back. And so, I used to go back and forth of thinking, maybe I picked the wrong decision, like, what does God think, about right and wrong decisions? And, kind of with, 2020 vision, like, look in hindsight, I kind of see it now that, God's plan isn't necessarily black and white.
Yeah.
It's more of that
Yeah.
gray of
Yeah.
we will make the decisions, but his hand's still going to be in it. He's still going to hold us and guide us no matter what we're doing.
Is it your belief you could have signed up for the military? Do you believe there was right or wrong here, a right path and a wrong path for Alex?
I
Or
used
could
to,
you, what do you think?
yeah, I used to think that because, I had a scholarship offer for soccer at Kentucky Christian
Okay.
and denied that and decided to go in the army. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I did make the wrong decision.
Ah,
But there were so many moments throughout my career. So I just got out in July. I was in for 6 years, but there's so many moments in that 6 years that I was able to minister to a
sure.
lot of my guys and
Sure.
um, make a larger impact in an area that doesn't have any godly men.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the coolest things in it. So it's still like I can still see God working, even if maybe that wasn't what was designed or what I was supposed to pick. It is
Sure.
what I picked, and
It
God was
is.
still with me through it.
Right. I mean, I think Alex, I think it's hardest even. I mean, preacher's kid or Bible
Mhm.
college kid, the good kid, right?
Yeah.
That just goes and does exactly what everyone expects of them.
Mhm.
I talk to them as seniors right now. I mean, we're recording this in January, so all
Mhm.
the seniors, that if the ones who haven't signed something, they're all
Yeah.
thinking about where are they going to be,
Hmm.
or the kids at seminary that are finishing an MDiv or whatever in May.
Yeah.
Where are we? And I think it's hardest sometimes. They think they'll they'll use the word called, which I'm
Yeah.
always a little. I've used it too. Are you called to? Are you called not to do? And but there are times I just think we make it so difficult and so pressure
Hmm.
packed, as if one
Hmm.
decision sets the tone for the next 40 years. And yet we
Yeah.
read the word, and the people, the stars of the story, their path
Hmm.
is like,
Hmm.
it's insane trying to follow God
Yeah.
and do what's right and the places they go.
Hmm.
And the right decision does not equate to success. It does not equate to comfort. And yet in
Hmm.
our world, we're like, well, it's gotten really difficult and I must have made the wrong decision.
Hmm.
I just don't, I think, I don't know. I think it's a different era too, where 20 to 25-year-olds have so much pressure on them
Yeah.
to make a right decision, to make a fast decision. So that's
Yeah.
why that's interesting. Okay, so your dad calls, you're in Texas or you're still overseas at this point.
So when he calls, I'm in Iraq. I'm not at the
Okay.
base that I was stationed at,
Okay.
but I'm at like starting to leave Iraq. I went to
Okay.
like the next base before we fly out of country.
Okay.
And so that's where I was when he called.
Okay. When you originally signed up for that, do you recall what was your mom, dad, people around you? Were they like, "What are you doing? Of course you're going to that Christian college to play Division 5 soccer or whatever, whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
how could you pass that? Of course. What are you thinking? Did it feel like that, or did it feel like people were encouraging this and pushing you on towards military?
Hmm. It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
My parents, they were very supportive of me, but let me know how I had other options. And well, they weren't the most comfortable with it. Like they signed the forms to allow me to join as a 17-year old. Um, but that didn't stop them from telling me I told you so anytime something went different.
That's fantastic. Okay, so from the time your dad called to getting to Orville, tell us that.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
How did that pan out?
yeah. So, we took a flight back to the States. I was in Texas for about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. And I actually had my interview with Michelle there. And then I had my first Zoom interview with Orville. So Jesse Walker and John Mulpus, we had our interview there. So I'm still wearing the only clothes I have. I just have my regular Army uniform. And I was like, I don't know if this is fancy enough, but at least it has buttons. um, so yeah, we did the interview, and they decided to give me another interview when I came home. So came home, had another interview, and I think about a week later, they're like, "Yeah, we would love to have you here." And so I just kind of took that. I got home late August, and I took that about 5 months or so off. I didn't start till January. So I went on a nice 2 week road trip, almost out to where you guys are at. Um, we made it all the way just to the edge of Washington and came around. And yes, it started at Orville in January.
Okay, surely a military guy who had been to Iraq, all of the I don't know, is freedom the word? You're really not free. I mean, you're doing whatever you're told. I've seen enough movies to understand. It's not like you're waking up on a Monday thinking, "What should I do?" But I mean, you're on you're not at home. You're not in a
Mhm,
college dorm. You're not even in an apartment on a college
mhm,
campus. You are on the other side of the planet. You're one of the ones we're
mhm.
pinning our hopes and dreams on that this works out, and then you become a resident. That had to
Yeah,
be shocking.
yeah, a little bit. So I think my residency was it was very unique. I don't know how many people have gone through similar situations, but I accepted the job, And maybe a month or so later, I got a call from Jesse Walker, who was supposed to be my coach. And
Right.
he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, we just told the staff in the church, like, I'm resigning. Nothing bad's going on, but I won't be there in
That's right.
January." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's right.
And so I had a conversation with John. He's like, "Offer's still yours if you want
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We're gonna work something out." At the time, Jeremy was just coming in too, so
Okay.
um, I still had kind of like two half coaches, which worked out pretty well. And Jesse and we became good friends. So
Okay.
I had a good spiritual mentor and
Okay.
close friend, even when he wasn't working at the church.
Okay. So John's the
But
senior pastor. Jesse was the
mhm.
guy you thought you were going to work for.
Yeah,
Turns out he's still around though, or something.
he was. He
Okay.
just moved to Pennsylvania last year, but yeah, he
Okay.
was still around for a while.
And then Jeremy is the new guy,
Yep.
the
Yep.
new number two executive pastor.
Yeah.
Maybe is that his
Yeah.
title?
XP, he doesn't like being called an XP, but yeah,
Exactly.
he's
So
admin. Yeah.
so before you even start, it's changing from what you started,
Yeah.
from what you thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Which I'm very
different?
used to that from the army.
I was going to say
Yeah.
that that was my next question. Like, how
Yep.
different is that from the military? Knowing that I've
Yeah.
heard enough stories of military
Yeah.
people that sign up for one thing and they're
Yep.
told one thing, and then they get
Yep.
there and everything's changing.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a saying that the only constant in the army is change.
Yeah, right,
So yeah,
right,
that's the only constant. And so my adaptability is good. My wife likes to say that I'm content to a fault.
right.
um,
Nice.
so that brings a lot of ease into situations like that. It's like, you know what? Like, still sounds good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all up for it.
What did you learn about you the last? So you
Mm,
finished in what, December? You just finished. We're recording this in
yeah.
January of
Yep.
26. You've just finished the second year. What did
Yeah.
you learn about you over
Mm,
the last 2 years?
yeah. About myself, it's a good question. Um, I think there's a lot of difference in leadership between military and church leadership. There's a huge difference there. If a member makes me mad, I can't make them do push-ups, but there's a lot of that. But I think really I went through many trials that I hadn't experienced before. Not even from a residency standpoint, just from a almost lifestyle, just kind of where I was, what was going on. I feel like whether it was being tested or being tempted,
Hmm.
there was a lot I learned about myself and how I dealt with various situations. Like I said, I'm content to a fault, and part of that is I never get angry other than when I drive. When I drive,
You're a
I'll get.
military guy that never gets angry.
Yeah, yeah. I,
How
I
does
I'm
that
pretty
work?
level-headed. I don't know. I don't know. You just see some of the guys, but yeah, no, I don't know. I just there's not very much that gets me going. If you wrong me four times, you get a fifth chance. Um, but there was a lot of stuff that kind of went on that I did start to get angry, and I did start getting like some anger in my heart, and I was like, oh man, like it's a weird feeling,
Yeah,
even to the point where when I pray for people that would make me angry, I'm just hoping that the Spirit is interceding well through my tears,
sure,
you
sure.
know. And so I learned a lot about spiritual discipline and
Mm,
just how to overcome a lot of those seasons of being down or of
yeah.
of feeling those kind of emotions.
On a scale of 100, zero
Mm,
being complete fog
mm,
and 100 being complete clarity, on we would say ministry clarity, like where's this going for
mm,
you? Where
mm.
were you the day January of whatever year? I've lost the
Mhm.
timeline, but when you started the residency, where
Yeah.
were you then? Where are you today? Give me two
Mm.
numbers.
So you said 100 is clear?
100 is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Zero is complete fog. I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm
Yeah.
headed, what I'm called to do, what I'm led, what I should be doing.
Yeah.
100 is, oh, I know what I ought to be doing. Where were you when you started? Where are you today?
Yeah. When I started, I think I was probably around 30. I was
Okay.
still, I heard God's calling.
Okay.
Knew I was where God wanted me, but I was still in my mind of, is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Um, Regardless, I'm going to do my 2-year contract, and I'm just going to see, is this the place for me? Is this what I
Mm,
want to do?
mm,
Do I actually enjoy this, or do I just like talking to people in coffee shops?
right.
Um, and I would say now I'm probably about an 80. I know I want to go into ministry, but now it's like, all right, God, I need that phone call again.
Yeah.
you know?
Interesting.
Um, so it's, I have so much trust in him because just of everything he has done in my life. I know I can rely solely on him and that he will lead me and feed me and show me where to go.
Yeah.
But it's kind of that waiting for that,
Yeah.
that clear vision.
Yeah. I mean, in recruiting, we should get, it'd be interesting if we could just pop open another window and have your military recruiter join us for why he lost. But I mean, just recruiting, I always feel like it's, and I say this over and over when we're training churches, it's like we get up every day and we
Mhm.
do our part, which
Yeah.
is phone calls and texts and emails and do you
Hmm.
know anybody and all of, and then God
Hmm.
at the right time in the right
Hmm.
way. Turns out he knows your address, Alex. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he knows if you need a phone call from some, I bet you're going to get a phone call from somebody now that it's
Oh yeah.
January. I know your wife is you're on this May. You got till May to figure something out,
Hmm.
and which is even that is God's grace, not having to
Yeah.
drop everything and move again
Yep.
after getting married. What, 4 months ago,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Ministry clarity. I would say there's a lot of people listening to this that wishes they had gone from 30 to 80. Like
Yeah.
I just, without what's the saying? Uh Pain equals growth, right? Without
Hmm.
pain, without difficulty, we aren't growing, we
Yeah.
aren't moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pain that takes us out. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like when you went from 160 to 220 killer, lean killer, it took pain.
Yeah.
It took
Oh yeah.
pain to get in that shape, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think in life there's a lesson there for us that without something to push on, without some level of difficulty, we're
Hmm.
not going to grow. We're not going to get clearer than we are.
Yeah.
What do you think in your military experience prepared you for your next step?
Hmm.
Or it didn't at all. You're lucky to get out. There's no right answer to that. I'm just
Yeah.
curious your experience.
Yeah. Well, I do joke. So I was a combat engineer, and so my job was pretty much just to blow stuff up. It was a super fun job. No real world experience, but I got to blow a lot of things up. Great, great times. But I also spent a lot of time with the infantry, spent a lot of time sleeping outside. And so I kind of always joke that, the Army trained me really well to be homeless. But I know that's not going to happen in these next 6 months or so. So, on a real note, I think it has given me that kind of content to a fault. I can do what it takes to survive. I can do, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to be happy. Right now, I'm working for a buddy at a coffee shop, just kind of helping him out when he needs help making coffees and doing some maintenance for him. And I mean, really, it kind of gives me that kind of sustainability to just be comfortable with where I am and expect a move at any time.
A combat engineer blows things up.
Oh yeah.
What was the coolest thing? What was the coolest thing you ever blew up?
Oh, um, we've had a couple of cars. I think that's probably the coolest. We didn't get to blow up much stuff.
Yeah.
It was usually just kind of watching one of our charges go boom. But we've done multiple door like breaching kind of explosives.
Okay.
So
All right.
you line up some that cord on a door and blow it down, and you go right into the room. And those are pretty fun.
Dude, you are talking about stuff that the great majority of us have only seen in movies and wonder,
Oh
what's
yeah,
that like? What is that
it,
like? You've
it's
gone
awesome,
from you've gone from blowing stuff up to what? Finish that.
man.
I used to blow stuff up for a living,
Yeah,
and now,
man. Trying to think, our youth pastor Corey Whitsitt, he would have a quip wit to that.
yeah.
Blowing stuff up to blowing. Man, I'd have to get back to you on that one, but I'm sure there's some good ones. But yeah, if any churches need a demolition, I'm your guy.
There's some pastors right now that they've said about their facility to me what they need is an
Uh,
untraceable fire where no one gets hurt,
yeah,
where they could get a new
yeah,
building. So maybe
yeah,
maybe there's a future there.
yeah. You want to get some
Um,
fuse gone?
if I hop in a time machine, Alex, and I go out, how old are you now?
I'm just turned 24.
24. 24. If I go out 6 years, I find you're 30,
Hmm.
and I come back out of and I'm like, hey man, I found you. And you're a potato farmer in South Dakota. Look, I found you're like, no man, you got the wrong Alex. Go back, get back in your machine, go find me. I mean, where are you and what are you doing? 6 years from now, you're 30. What do you think?
Yeah,
That's the clarity
yeah.
piece, right? You've gone from 30
Oh
to
yeah,
80 and you can see it.
yeah.
What do you think? What do you see out there?
Yeah, I think adult ministry, discipleship, any of those names, connection, whatever type of minister a church calls it. I mean, that's really what I see for myself for a while.
Okay. What is it
You know,
about that
I
work? What is it about
mm,
that work that you love?
yeah. So my top two absolute favorite things, and what I always test high on any spiritual gifts test,
Hmm.
is evangelism and discipleship. I'm a very extroverted person. Um, if you've ever taken the five voices test, I'm a connector. So I love being around people. I love connecting with people. I love leading people. And I like that more so on a smaller level, whether it's one-on-one like this, whether it's in small groups,
Hmm.
whatever it is, I just like connecting with people like that. I love helping people grow, and just having that authentic kind of connection. So whether it's leading people to Christ or helping them on their journey, that's just it's so rewarding to see and just be a part of.
Fantastic. Well, no residency, no residency. When you said earlier, like, are most of them like Paige on our team? She's like, one size fits one. If you've
Hmm.
seen one, you've seen them, you've seen one because they
Yeah,
all sort of take on a life of their own.
yeah,
No residency. There are plans. There are plans.
mhm,
What's that proverb? We have plans and
mm,
then God directs our steps.
yeah,
Sort of like war
yep,
plans. Sort of like
yep,
you've signed up and you're on a plane going to Iraq and nothing goes the way they said it would. I would say you're describing a lot of the residencies that we work with. There are plans, and then
yeah,
God directs these steps. He knows what we
yeah,
need for our future.
hmm,
And if you've gone from 30 to 80 in terms of getting a clear idea of what the future could be for Alex Klein, I call that success, man.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
And in the meantime, we all are going to reach out to all of our friends and say, are you looking for a discipleship or connections? I know a guy. I know a guy.
yeah,
He's in Ohio and he can
yeah.
also blow stuff up for you.
I could,
Hey, this has been great. I appreciate the
yeah,
time. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you, Dave.
Hey, friend, I just recorded. It's the first day back. I just ate a bunch of chips for one thing. Hold on. Hey, it's Dave Miller. It's the first day of 2020, and that's why I'm thrilled to. I need to start this over. Take three. Hey, all right, here we go.